KIMBAP! Hey Busy Bees! Today I thought we'd have a little bit of fun and I'm going to share with you a classic Korean snack, KIMBAP. Kim means seaweed and bap means rice, so we're basically making seaweed rice rolls. I've never been and I really want to go to Korea, but there, kimbaps are as prevalent as a sandwich, so you can basically stuff them with anything you want. Today we're going to start with the classic bulgogi, and then we're going to have some fun and stuff them with some Asian fusion flavors. So before we get started, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe below, and if you guys could, please follow me on Instagram, and then we'll get started with our core ingredient, which is the sushi rice. Okay, to season the rice, I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. I'll mix it all together. I'll let it sit for a little bit to let the sugar dissolve and the flavors meld while I wait for the rice to cook. I just cooked some short grain rice according to the package's direction. And once it's done, I'll just scoop out about 4 cups of rice into my bowl. Now I'll pour in half of our seasoning sauce, and then I'll mix the rice to distribute everything. Finally, I'll pour the rest in and give it another good mix. This is gonna make our rice taste so good. See? The seasoning also helps to separate the rice a little bit too. Isn't it fluffy? Alright, now that we have our seasoned rice, let's move on to making all the different fillings. The first one is the classic kimbap, and I'll show you how to make a quick bulgogi marinade. Here's the beef that I'm getting, already pre-sliced from the market. Okay, now in a bowl, I'm adding in 2 cloves of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of minced ginger, 1 teaspoon of rice wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I'll give it a good mix. Mix. Then I'll add in 2 stalks of chopped green onions, my beef. Just find some thinly sliced beef, and if you can't, ask the butcher to do it. Beef. There's some fatty pieces in there, but that just helps with the flavor. Mix it well with my hands to make sure every slice of beef is coated with that yummy sauce. And then I'll just let it chill out for a little bit while I work on the rest. This is just a quick bulgogi marinade, so if you guys want the real deal recipe, I'll link the video at the end. Now, in a pot with boiling water, I'm just gonna blanch some Asian spinach. See how it has the stem still on? I'll blanch it for about 30 seconds until it softens up, and then I'll take it out. Okay, next step, in a frying pan, I'm gonna add some sesame oil, let it get hot, then I'll pour in about 1 cup of shredded carrots. I'll add in about 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, and then just saute them for about 2 minutes. I just want them soft, but not cooked. Alright, that looks perfect. Now I'll take it off heat, and then I'll set it onto my prep dish. Now, it's time to cook the bulgogi. I'm just doing a little bit at a time, shaking it so that it kind of releases from each other. Alright, I'll let it cook for about 3 to 5 minutes until it's fully cooked. Oh, look at that sizzle. Can you smell it? I know a lot of Koreans, like my husband's family, says bulgogi, but my friends often say bulgogi, kind of like Guy Fieri, and it cracks me up every time. How do you guys say it? Alright, now for our other ingredients, here I have some seasoned burdock and pickled radish. I actually don't know what seasoned burdock is, but it's used in kimbap, so I'm gonna go with it. Now I'll lay those on my prep dish too. Our spinach and our freshly cooked bulgogi. Look at those colors. Gorgeous. Okay, now to roll it out, I have some seaweed sheets. Fun fact, Japanese people call it nori and Koreans call it kim for kimbap. There's 2 sides, there's a shiny and dull side. I'm gonna put the shiny side at the bottom. Okay, now I'll scoop on some of my cooled rice. About 1/2 cup to a cup depending on how much rice you like. I'm leaving 1/3 of the sheet empty because I don't want too much rice. And now we'll start layering. I'll start with my carrots, then my pickled radish. This gives a nice crunch. Then the seasoned burdock, spinach for some greens, and our bulgogi. To roll it up, I'm gonna take the bottom of this sushi mat and just roll. And make sure you let the rice touch each other so that it acts like glue. And then just roll up the rest. The moisture of the rice will stick to the rest of the seaweed to hold it all together. Like this. Ta-da! And now we get to cut it. For even slices, I like to cut it in half again, and then I'll cut them in thirds. Perfection. Let me show you what it looks like. Look at all those colors. So pretty, huh? The thing I love about kimbap is that you get everything in one bite. Let's give it a try. The meat is so flavorful, and my favorite is actually that crunch from the pickled radish. It's so good. Kimbap was actually my first introduction into sushi rolls before I was brave enough to eat raw fish. You guys have to try this one. All right, moving on to our next one, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with some fusion flavors. I'm gonna make the tonkatsu pork sushi roll. All right, first I'm gonna start by making our pickled cucumbers. In a pan, I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1/4 cup of water, and 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar. I'll let it heat up on medium-high heat and let the sugar dissolve. Then I'll add in my freshly sliced cucumbers, about 1 cup. I'll mix it around, just let it steep, and then pull it off heat after a minute. Now I'll just set the cucumbers aside for about 30 minutes to let it cool down and pickle up. Easy, right? Now we're gonna move on to our tonkatsu pork. Here I have 3 thinly sliced pork chops. I'll cover it with a sheet of plastic, and then I'm gonna pound it with my meat tenderizer. Peel and flip, and repeat. This is a good stress reliever. Once that's done, I have 3 bowls. One with flour that I'll season with salt and pepper, mix it well. And then I have another bowl that I'll add in 2 eggs, scramble these babies up. And then in my other bowl, I have some panko. Now I'll just dip each cutlet into the flour, then our egg. The egg's gonna act like glue. And finally, into our panko. This is gonna give it that nice crunchy texture. Beautiful. Make sure it's all coated. Let's do it again. Flour. This is gonna create a barrier. Egg dive. Let's give it an egg bath and coat it with some more panko. Perfection. Usually pork katsu is deep fried, but I'm just gonna pan fry them. In my frying pan, I'm just gonna add some oil, just enough to cover the whole bottom. I'm testing if it's ready with the chopstick. If it bubbles at the bottom, it's ready. Okay, it looks nice and hot. Now we add in the pork chops and listen to them sizzle. I'll fry each side for about 5 minutes to make sure it's cooked, and then flip it over and do the same thing. Look at that beautiful golden brown color. Oh, so good. Now we're almost ready. Here we have our pickled cucumbers that kind of look like a rose pattern, and I chopped up our pork tonkatsu. Okay, again, on our nori, or kim, I'm adding on some rice, but this time I'm gonna spread tonkatsu sauce right onto my rice. Layer it with my pork, some pickled ginger for crunch and color, and our quick pickles. This one's gonna have a tangy kick. Roll it up like a burrito, making sure I have a strip of rice to act like glue. And ta-da! Our pork tonkatsu sushi roll or seaweed roll. The tonkatsu pork is really flavorful, and I just love that little breaded crunch from it. And then the pickled cucumbers give it a little bit of a tang. If you guys don't like pickled cucumbers or like that tang from the pickles, you can always substitute with avocado and make it like a Cali tonkatsu roll. Okay, now moving on, the next one is inspired by a Hawaiian delicacy. I'm gonna be reinventing the spam musubi into a seaweed roll. First, I'll start with my eggs. I have 2 eggs that I'm just gonna crack into a small bowl. Scramble it up, and then we're gonna make a mini omelet. In a frying pan, I'm gonna add some oil, and using a paper towel, I'm just gonna brush it all around. I'll pour in my egg, let it cook up for about 3 minutes on medium heat, and then this is the scary part. I'm gonna flip it over. Flip! Oh, darn it. Oh well, this will take practice. I'll cook it for another minute or two, and then I'll take it off heat and just chop it up into strips. Here we have some Spam. I like using 25% less sodium because it's a little bit healthier. Pop it off, and then I'll just cut it into strips. I know Spam isn't that good for you, but it's such a guilty pleasure food. It's so good when it's fried up with the glaze. Oh. Alright, now to cook it up, I have a frying pan that I'll just add in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of pineapple juice. Now I'll just add in my strips of Spam, fry it up on each side for about a minute or two, just until the liquid dissolves or just thickens up. It'll create a nice glaze. And that's all we need for our musubi roll. Just Spam and eggs. Oh yeah, rice and seaweed too. This is like a Hawaiian breakfast. Alright, to season our rice though, I'm gonna add some furikake, sprinkle it on, and then I'll layer it with my Spam, some eggs. We're gonna do a double layer of eggs here because one's not enough. So, oh no. I'll roll it up. Same thing, we'll slice it, and ta-da! Our Spam musubi roll. So cute. They look like Legos. Takes me back to Hawaii, and I actually like that it's compact and in a bite-sized roll like this versus the musubi where you have to like bite into it. I will pretty much take either one though. Alright, now moving on to our next one, it's the Philadelphia roll. Have you guys ever had that before? I'm adding my own little twist here. All you need are some asparagus spears, cream cheese cut into strips, and some smoked salmon. Salmon candy. Okay, now on my seaweed, I'm gonna add some rice. Then with my hands, I'm just gonna pat it down. And then to add some extra seasoning and punch, I'm gonna add in some togarashi, which is Japanese chili flakes. You know what to do by now. Layer on my asparagus, some cream cheese, and then I'll break up and layer on some smoked salmon. I got these from Whole Foods and they also have salmon bacon. Crazy! Now let's roll. Ooh, this one's a little bit tricky. Okay, let it touch the top of the rice, and then just roll it all up. Perfect. And here we have our Philadelphia-inspired roll. I love the colors. Ollie loves these too. And here it is. Look at all those layers. So pretty. That was so good. The best thing about this roll is that you don't have to enjoy sushi rolls with raw fish. The smoked salmon has so much flavor, and I get a little bit of a spicy kick from the togarashi. So good. Okay, for our last one, I'm gonna make a childhood favorite. This is a sandwich combination that I always used to make, but I thought it would be fun to put it in a KIMBAP roll. So we're gonna have salami with cheese and spinach. For this one, I just need some salami slices, sticks of cheddar cheese, and spinach. You know the drill, seaweed, rice, flatten it out. I'll add some QP mayo, some mustard. I like using Dijon, but yellow mustard's also pretty awesome. Now I'll just layer on some salami slices, then some spinach, and finally in the middle I'll just stick on my cheese. Roll it up, roll, 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 unroll, and here we have our salami and cheese roll. Yum! This is a fun looking roll, and I think it would be great for kids' lunches too. Let's give it a try. That was so good, and the combination of salami and cheese is my favorite, and putting it in a rice roll is completely unexpected. Weren't those so fun to make? You can come up with any kind of combinations that you want. I think turkey BLT would be fun, or even like the Japanese curry in a roll, because you eat them with rice anyways, right? The best part about these rolls is that they're completely easy to take on the go. Just wrap them up in plastic and you have breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, and dinner. I'm throwing all these in my purse. Let me know in the comments section what flavor combinations you guys would come up. It's like the best part for me to come up with all these crazy flavors. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to check out the bulgogi recipe. Oh, and if you guys like spicy pork too, throw back to 2012 honeysuckle videos and I'll link that at the end. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!